Thank you for joining me and Liz for our interview series for Women in Mortgage. I have to tell everybody who's watching this, it's so random that Kerisa is here because I'm trying to buy an 88-acre farm, and I called her and asked her if she could do my loan, and she can't. But I was like, hey, you should totally know about our conference. So thank you so much for being here and being our guest today. Would you tell people a little bit about you and who you are and what you do in the mortgage industry?
Sure. Well, I'll try to do the elevator speech here. So I have been in real estate, mortgage industry for about almost 20 years now. My entire career has been focused on agriculture investments, and coincidentally, oh, there's my email going. Coincidentally, I grew up on a farm in the Willamette Valley. So my grandfather, my father, my brothers, we all come from a long line of farmers. So that is how I landed in agricultural finance. It's kind of a specific field, but it's one near and dear to my heart. So I've been, I work for MetLife currently. I've been there about 2 years, and that's after I had a pretty long career at Northwest Farm Credit. So I made the switch a couple of years ago, and it's been great. So pretty much same company car. I still drive a Ford Explorer and kind of same gig, different company. So except I get to work from home now permanently. So that's the good news.
That's awesome.
Curiosity, how many female commercial or ag lenders do you personally know?
In my industry, oh, that's a great question. Very few. I mean, I've joked for years, the line to the ladies' restroom at meetings is like the shortest you'll ever see it. So very few. I've actually mentored a lot of people, a lot of women over the years, training them up so that they could be comfortable being in the mortgage originator's shoes or management or wherever they want to be. So yeah, very few.
You're a rare bird.
Yes.
Sorry, Melissa, I interrupted you. Oh, I think she's frozen.
Oh.
Melissa. We lost Melissa. Okay, well, we'll try and carry on the best we can here without Melissa. So,
yeah.
So you got into it. Was it because of the farm? You were on a farm previously? Is that what motivated you to get into farm lending?
Well, honestly, I didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up. So I was interested in all kinds of different things and pursued my degrees in international business and Spanish. I'm getting to be even more of a rare bird as I talk. And then I found this great internship at the prior company I worked for. And so they just kind of scooped me up, and then I don't know, you blink and 20 years goes by. It went by so fast. So yeah, that's how I got into it. I know it. It was just kind of one of those things that just landed on my lap, really.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay. So when you're talking about women producers that are looking at going into ag or commercial lending of that sort, is there any words of advice that you would like to give to help them be brave about making that leap?
Yes. I mean, without a doubt, it's definitely, at least my experience in my industry.
Hi,
Melissa.
I lost the internet.
Yeah, I was looking at you like, Melissa, I interrupted you, and then you just kept making that face. And I was like, she's frozen.
Yeah, totally. So, hi.
We'll have some editing to do, that's all.
Yeah, no, it'll be totally.
So I was just asking her how she can help other women producers be brave in her industry.
So that's great. Such a good question.
Yeah, I love everything about these questions. But yes, I would say for women in the industry, a lot of our examples have been, men and people who are, just different than us. So when I first started my career, I tried to emulate the examples I saw before me. But what I would say to women in this field is to be brave and to own who you are. Like, own it. Don't try to conform and be like what other people have been in the industry. Be yourself, be smart, be kind, and you will do awesome.
That's nice.
That's really great. I love that you just said that because can you talk a little bit about how you tried to emulate other people in the industry? Because I think that's really important for women to hear. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I used to go to a million business dinners, and the conversation was sports, current events, fishing, golf, all great topics, of which I had zero to contribute, in any of these conversations. So, like, for a while, I was trying to watch sports and like trying to, keep up and up so I could kind of chum around, and talk that talk. And then I just realized, like, I can't. I mean, it's not me. Honestly, I don't care. It just wasn't serving anybody for me to pretend like I was, interested in any of that. So there's like the conversation, the building rapport, you just do it your own way. Even how you dress. Like when I first entered the industry, I thought you had to wear like khaki pants and a colored shirt. And as time went by, I just felt really confident to dress how I wanted, and it looked different than everybody else, and that was kind of my thing. So
I think that's such an important thing, though. It doesn't serve anybody to pretend you're anybody else other than who you are.
Yeah. Exactly.
So important.
Right.
Perfect. Do you have you found that there's any unique challenges for ag, you think, as compared to another mortgage avenue, a different type?
Since I've only done ag, I only really have that experience to draw on. But I do think it's, it can be challenging, I guess, just again, that relationship piece. I'm huge on relationships with borrowers and with the industry. And so sometimes it can be hard to relate if you're, very different people. So trying to find that common ground was always important with me with marketing. Let's see here. And then the great thing is a lot of farmers now their daughters are looking to go back to the business, and the businesses look totally different than they used to. Like, there's amazing marketing opportunities, there's amazing crops you can grow. So actually then it's a huge benefit, to relate with their children and that next generation that's coming on board.
That's really, really awesome. That's so great. I love that you just talked about women in ag too, that their daughters are starting to think about how can they come back into agriculture.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, who knows? My daughter might too. She's only one right now. So we'll see where her path leads her.
So awesome. What do you wish you would have known at the beginning of your career that no one shared with you?
Oh, yes. Okay. So I wish I would have known to really have more confidence, because I think for the longest time I would wait to speak up until I had like the most perfect answer and felt like I researched everything beautifully. And then I realized like the people around me were kind of flying off the cuff, and they weren't 100% right, but they were brave enough to speak up and have a presence. So yeah, I just wish I wouldn't have held myself back and just let that confidence shine from the beginning.
I think that's so important, especially for women being in the room. Like you were saying, doing agricultural finance and commercial lend, and you do commercial farm loans. So you're in the room with some very big, powerful people who really do half the time speak out of like, they don't know, but they're confident enough to be like, yeah, this is totally what's going to happen. So like this idea, we as women don't really speak up and have a presence. Like we sit back and wait for everybody else to talk, and then we talk, right? And I think that's such a great piece of advice for people. Don't you think, Liz?
I think it's fabulous. I think oftentimes we always feel like we have to have everything put together and we have to have all of our homework done. I even see that in my daughter, who is a brave soul, and I've been preaching in their ears for God knows how long. Just go for it, right? Just ask for what you want. You don't have to be completely prepared. And so often we just stay awake at night worrying that we don't have everything together perfectly in order. And that's just not how the rest of the world works, the non-female side anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
They raise their hand, they're like, oh, I can do it. And we're back there going, well, I don't know. I haven't checked this box and this box and this box. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
Good stuff. Good stuff. What is your words? You just said you changed companies 2 years ago. Do you have any words of advice for any women that are looking to change companies, maybe going into another opportunity?
Sure. So I I'm a big fan of being clear on what you want. So if you're going to make a change, you know, I know there's instances where maybe you're not happy in your current job, but don't let that fuel the whole change. Don't let yourself be desperate looking for the next opportunity that might not be the right one for you. So I always tell people when they're having a career conundrum to make like the pros and cons of where they're at, and then like make the list of what they absolutely want in the new job, and don't compromise until you get it. And then also know your worth. So as far as negotiating salary, you know, if you're going to make a change, you know, most of the time, I mean, depending on the situation, you want to make a better change. So whatever that better is for you, is it more flexibility? Is it more money? Is it more responsibility? Know what you're looking for, and then don't be afraid to ask for it. Because I was also in management for a while at my prior company, and when I managed men, no problem. They'd come to me on salary, no big deal. And just they'd have the numbers ran, they'd have the facts there, and they'd be like, I want this and I'm worth this. And guess what? They got it. So why can't we as women, I know it's uncomfortable to talk about money or to shoot high too when you go to a new company. Like if you don't have to go, you know, see what you can get. so yeah, you can always back off, and like, everybody will feel good. The new company will think, oh, we got a good deal. And you're like, woohoo, I just got a huge raise. So yeah, so that's my advice. And
that actually leads, sorry, Liz, do you want to?
That's fine. That's all I had to say. Start high. Start high.
Start high. Yeah.
That leads into our next question about what's your favorite negotiation secret, which is actually one of my favorite parts of all these interviews, is all of these different negotiation secrets that now are like giving women this huge toolbox to be able to negotiate. So
right. Well, I always, again, I guess I'm a list person as I'm talking, but I always think about, say I'm negotiating a big loan, and I think about, okay, what are my 2 or 3, maybe my 1 or 2 top things I have to get out of this negotiation. Like these are it for me. This is what I have to get. But then I try to sit in the customer's shoes and think, okay, what are their hot buttons? What do they have to get? And the most beautiful negotiations go when your hot buttons are different. So everybody gets what they want. Now, sometimes the hot buttons are the same, but just trying to figure out like where you can give and take and where you need to stay firm has been, it's been a good negotiation tool for me.
Good stuff there. And what is your one empowering idea you would like to share with women? You had one. What would it be?
Oh my gosh, just one?
No, you can list more.
Gosh, all kinds of things. I've had this conversation a lot. So my one empowering statement for women would be, you know what? We manage a lot. We've got families, we've got households, we've got jobs. I mean, it's a lot. And I've seen women not go for that next step in their career because they're like, I don't know how I can do all of this, you know, when they're totally wonderfully capable. So I guess I would empower women to really think about, you know, our new world as we know it has really, I think, been positive for women because we can work from home now. If a baby's crying in the background, no one cares because everybody's babies are homes right now. And you can kind of manage your day as you need to. You can be in charge of your own day and your own career and your own family. So I would say really think about your career goals and don't let, you know, if you're like, I can't do it all, try to think about how you can do it all, how you can get help so you don't carry it all on your shoulders, like how you can outsource so you can really achieve what you want in your goals and not hold yourself back.
Beautiful. That was beautiful.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I agree. Go for it. If you want to go, if you want to do it, do it.
Yeah. And then figure out the other stuff. You can't do all of it because that's where you implode. Oh, I have one more tip. You got to take care of yourself too. Don't be afraid to, like, for years, if I didn't have an appointment, I would go on a walk or a run on my lunch break all the time. And it would just feel good. My head would reset. I'm a yoga teacher, so I really believe in unwinding that busy part of our brain. Like if you need to take off at 4 and reset yourself, do it. Because I find the more we just go, you're actually less productive. So try to see what makes you productive and take care of yourself.
Nice.
So good.
Another gem.
So good.
Good stuff. Yeah.
How do you, I just want to throw in this little, because I find that, so we've been interviewing mostly people who work in residential lending,
Okay.
right? And so what do you think, so you came from a farming background, right?
Mhm.
So how would you encourage more women to get involved in commercial and ag lending, who maybe, I mean, do they have to have a background in ag, or can they just be interested in the industry? Like, what advice would you give women who are like, I really want to work in the mortgage industry, but I am not going to help people get houses. Like, that's not my thing. I want to be bigger than, like, I want to do bigger loans than that. Like,
Right.
what advice would you have for women who are looking at commercial lending? Because there's so few women in commercial lending.
There are. I would say my advice would be, if you're interested in it, network with the people that are in the industry, or that other women in the industry. I think are always happy to reach out and lend a hand getting started. And then of course in the ag industry, there's certain colleges that help people get hires, like like Texas A&M or Cal Poly in California, Oregon State right here in Oregon. So those credentials always help you. But I mean, I think for a lot of young people, myself included, when I was that age, I had no idea. I was just like, I guess I need to get a job and start going. And so I found the best employees are those that really had a desire to be there and love the industry, whether they had a background in it or not. So I would say, if you're interested, try to find the right people that will help you get started. That's always the best way to go.
That's awesome. Great. Thank you so much for your time, Kerisa. I'm sorry I got kicked off there earlier. No idea. Our internet right now has been something. So
you recovered well. That was awesome.
Thanks. I hope everything recorded okay. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Have a
This
great
was
day.
so fun. Yeah, take care. Bye.